Hey everybody, welcome to the next episode of the Strand Tennis Center podcast, filled with tips, advice, tennis, not tennis, just life advice too, whatever you need. Like it on YouTube, share it on the podcast as well. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Strand Tennis Center podcast. I'm Steve Capo. I'm at the Strand, and I am sharing thoughts and feelings on a Thursday. What is it? March what? I know you're not supposed to do the dates on these podcasts, so 31st. They know the date. 31st?
March 31st.
March 31st. One day away from April Fool's Day, everybody. This one, you know what? I was so juiced up and just annoyed that maybe it relates to tennis a little bit, but I got to talk about this Will Smith thing for about 10 minutes. Because, oh, you all right? He's getting choked up over there. Santi's coughing, everybody. He's getting choked up. Wrong pipe. He cares and cries like Will Smith does when he accepts his Oscar after he beats somebody up. So, basically, I would say the reason why it is annoying me and is equating to me to the same thing, when your head gets too big, when you become too successful in anything, and especially are you coughing the whole time here? Especially with actors in general, the narcissism is through the roof. Look, it is totally unacceptable. And I am just, I'm just one person who's just nobody who's got humility. So I first think, not even of him slapping him, to stand up in the middle of an event that is, I don't know, it's not seen by many people now, 16 million or something like that, and walk up onto the stage, even though he might have just say he was going to talk to him, to say with your body language that I'm going to stop this show because I'm that important, that I'm bigger than everybody. I'm bigger than the Academy Awards. I'm bigger than Chris Rock. I'm bigger than the history of it. Bob Hope, everybody in it, all these people. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to walk on the stage and stop this show because I'm that important. To me, if I'm sitting in the crowd and somebody makes fun, whatever, does anything, I couldn't even imagine standing up and walking onto the stage. I mean, the unbelievable egotism to be able to think that you're bigger than anybody. So then I was telling you, CJ, that the Academy Awards announced yesterday that they asked him to leave. He slapped him, went back down, yelled his incredible words that's been used so many times, which is so fun on all social media. They went up to him. They said, "We'd like you to leave." And what did Will Smith do? He said no. Because you know what? When a cop gives me a ticket, I say no thank you. And when I hit somebody and I'm asked to leave the venue, I say no thank you. What? Like, you're just a human. You hit someone in the face, you should leave. And you deserve to be thrown out. I can't believe he didn't leave. So it's got me juiced up because whether you're doing anything, whether you're whether you own a $1 billion company, whether you're super, not even a celebrity, whether you have a lot of power goes to people's heads. You think about anything over the past 2 years with the pandemic and certain people, they get control. Governors get control of states and they want to do anything they want to do because they like power and they like control. Fear, don't even think anything other than it's pretty much the simplest answer. When you get power, it's very intoxicating and people want to control other people, and that's the bottom line. There's no mystery to it. There's no no. And that's the same thing that happens when people get too powerful. The guy makes $20 million a movie. He feels like he can do whatever he wants, and it's just unacceptable. And you can't do that. You can't be, even if you're in charge of 10 people, 20 people, you can't just say, I'm going to do whatever I want. You can't just, even anybody sexual harassment ever, Matt Lauer, even Harvey Weinstein, you can't do whatever you want when you have power. It's all the same thing. You have to understand that you are just a human being, and you got to have humility and empathy to know that if people are working for you, if you're doing a film like he is and people are assisting you, all this stuff, they're humans, they're doing a job. And you're a human doing a job. You're nothing special at all. Everyone has got their role. Some people are better at other things than others, and some people have other dreams than other people do, and they do this. It doesn't mean they're better than anybody. That's just their calling and what they're doing. So I just, as a business owner, as anybody that runs a business, it's almost advice to say, look, you may run the business, you don't run the people. You work together, and you are both sharing in the success and in the value provide to the customer, to anything you're doing. And once you lose that humility, once you lose that feeling of, all these people are pawns. I mean, you lose that feeling of, you get that feeling of all these people are pawns and they're just here for me. You start to lose sense of reality. And I think, especially if we go back to Hollywood, they just totally lose sense of reality. You're making that much kind of money. You're basically playing a character, and then you're losing the reality perspective of what you are. You're just an actor playing something. You are not that person. And when you start, you could be if you're in charge of a company or you're in charge of something, you could all of a sudden start playing a role and saying, I'm this leader and I need to do this, this, and this. You need to take advice. You need to step back. You need to realize that you're not perfect, and everybody around you is the reason for your success. So I just had to bring it up and equate it to work. Be humble. Once you lose it, it's never going to come back. And that's all I had to say in regards to that, because I had to just go off topic, but it really kind of wasn't, because when you run a business, you have to be that way. So that is my piece on Will Smith, which drove me insane, by the way. It drove me insane. I wanted to lose my mind all week. I could not believe, I still, when I think about it, I still cannot believe somebody went up. It's like, CJ, you love football. It's like, imagine, like, you just hate Tom Brady so much, you just want to run onto the field and hit him in the head. Like, no one would do that. Like, even if, right? You could say.
No, nobody ever would do that, but you just lose all the respect for Will Smith after he does something like this. He's one of the top actors. He's a big role model to a lot of kids, and then he goes and does this one big thing where he blows up, and a lot of things I'm sure are building up to it. And he's been the butt of the joke of a lot of things, in the past. But just for an outburst like this at an event where, again, a lot of people put a lot of time into it, and there's just a lot of people who are working really extremely hard, and then one joke comes out and you just snap. It's very unprofessional, of course, but it's just kind of mind-blowing that you would do that on a stage like that with millions of people watching. And he said stuff about he would never do this stuff before, and so it's just, in my opinion, it's a little crazy, and definitely lost a lot of respect for him.
I think you're being kind saying it's classless. I think you're being kind saying it's unprofessional. I think it's classless. You imagine if some low-level producer that no one knew started to walk up on the stage. Like, what do you think would happen? Like, you don't even know the person. Someone just starts to walk up to Chris Rock.
Security would come out.
They would tackle him, right? And if he hit Chris Rock, he'd be ripped off the stage and gone. Like, this is what I'm talking about with this privilege. And if they don't do anything, if they don't come down on him hard, like, it's a shame then. He can just do whatever he wants.
Like I said, I saw the Jim Carrey thing saying about the money. He should be suing him, and I just think that
How about Chris Rock should be suing him?
Chris Rock should be suing Will Smith for basically a lot of money. And now you think about it, and that's going to be a meme that's going to be over the internet forever. It's never going to go away now. So I see it every time I open up social media. I see it. It's going to be somewhere where it's going to be there forever, and it's never going to go away. So it's going to I don't know. It's just a big joke. Big joke.
It is. I think Chris Rock hasn't said anything. I think he's handled it well, and I think this is my theory why he hasn't said anything. Obviously, he wants to see what happens. April 18th, there's some sort of board meeting with the Academy. I don't know what they're waiting for to punish Will Smith. So maybe he'll wait to see what happens there. But I also think Will Smith apologized on Instagram, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, he probably didn't call Chris Rock. So until you actually call a human and apologize, it may not be the best thing to do to put it on your social media. Obviously, you should do both, but you should probably call the person and apologize to him.
Have some dinner or something. Take him out to dinner or something.
Do something. But I agree, CJ, we're all on the same page. You can't And a lot of the young kids here are like a little misguided, and I'll have to explain it to them. Hopefully they watch this podcast. They're saying, well, he was defending his wife. I'm like, look, he wasn't in a bar and his wife was getting insulted. And okay, if Will Smith there was a report that he got in a fight with Chris Rock in a bar, I'd be like, okay, what happened? Right? Maybe Chris Rock insulted him. He's a comedian. He's hosting the Academy Awards. The context that you're in here, he's supposed to make fun of everybody. That's what they do. When you watch Richie Gervais at the Golden Globes ripping everybody, that's what you're supposed to do at those shows. Mm-hmm. You're not supposed to go up to the host and hit him. So the context is everything.
Well, now I've been saw something about now it's basically acceptable for other comedians now to be attacked because if they make a joke to somebody in the crowd where that could be like a repercussion because of this Will Smith thing. And I agree. I think that it might happen now because, people saw Will Smith do it and they go, oh, you know what, it's acceptable, which it's not, of course. And I think that Chris Rock handled it really well and he kind of played it off as a joke, but it's a very serious thing, I think. And again, Will Smith thinks he's entitled. And
I agree. No, I agree. And I think Will Smith should almost do a press conference and be clear and say, listen, even though his apology said it's unacceptable, he should say, listen, I don't want anybody doing things at comedy shows. But, if he's really like a leader in the public eye, but they're just celebrities. You got to be really careful. We put these people on pedestals. They're just actors. And we get too enamored by somebody playing a part. They just have a job. And they're just humans, and they make huge mistakes. I mean, this is a huge mistake to me.
There's regular people. Just got lucky.
Got lucky. All right. That's all we have today at the Strand Tennis Center podcast. But be humble. Humility is key. If you are not humble, you are going to lose your way. And the answer's in the actions, right, Santi? Take action. Work out. Anybody. Get out there. Whatever day it is, work. See you.
Hey, everybody. Hope you like the podcast. Please share it with your friends, anybody that you know, anybody that's into tennis, anybody that's into bettering themselves. Share it.